Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama. Following his extraordinary mandate, Speaker, I'm deeply grateful to His Excellency the President. Following statutory reports as required by law. 2024 annual report on the petroleum funds in line with Section 48 of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act 2011, Act 815, as amended, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also submit the 2024 Energy Sector Levies Report in accordance with Section 6 of the Energy Sector Levies Act 2015, Act 899. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the 2024 annual report on the collection and utilization of the African Section 7 of the African Union Report Levy Act 2017, Act 952. Honorable Speaker, with this budget, I will also be seeking a review of the following act to support the policies of government. Act 2011, Act 815. The second will be the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund 20, Act 870. The second will be an amendment to the Mineral Income Investment Fund Act 2018, Act 978. Speaker, I will also be seeking amendment to the Energy Sector Levies Act 2015, Act 899. I will be seeking amendment to the Ghana Cocoa Board Act, Act 1984, the PNDC Law 81, as amended. Speaker, that's not all. I will also be seeking amendment to the Earmark Funds Cap and Realignment Act 2017, Act 947, the Ghana Procurement Authority Act 2003, Act 663, as amended in Act 914. Speaker, I will be seeking amendment to the Ghana Education Trust Fund Act 2000, Act 581. And finally, Mr. Speaker, I will also be seeking amendment to the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018, Act 982, and incorporated into a comprehensive public financial management act. Mr. Speaker, I forgot to add that I will also be seeking amendment to the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915. Mr. Speaker, we remain committed to the pursuit of our 24-hour economic policy, as stimulating economic growth and job creation. Honorable Speaker, this policy will contribute to addressing Ghana's structural economic challenge by creating an integrated, efficient tools in the utilization of our national resources, capital, and labor power. Honorable Speaker, will be presenting the 24-hour economic policy to Parliament in due course. In this respect, Mr. Speaker, the Labour Act, the Ghana Investment Promotion Act, and other enabling legislations will be reviewed accordingly. Mr. Speaker, as part of the effort to stabilize our city through foreign exchange and gold reserve accumulation, I will also submit a bill to provide a legal framework for the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board for the consideration of this House. Mr. Speaker, the 2025 Budget Statement and Economic Policy of Gov't, I respectfully request the Handler Department of Government for the year ended 31st December 2025. Mr. Speaker, standing here evokes a sense of nostalgia as I reflect on my journey in public service from my early days as a young parliamentarian in this House in the year 2009. Destiny has guided my path from a backbencher to a member of the Finance Committee, to a Deputy Minister of Finance, to a member of the Finance Committee, to Minority Leader, to Majority Leader. The invaluable experience I gained in this chamber has shaped my perspective, sharpened my focus, and prepared me for the task at hand. I fully commit to supporting His Excellency the President and constituents, and to you, Mr. Speaker, and members of this House, for your unwavering support throughout my years in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, this esteemed House is a sanctuary of rigorous debate, principled cooperation, and at times constructive disagreement, all in the pursuit of the greater good of our beloved country. I look forward to working with you, Right Honorable Speaker, and my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to reset the Ghana's economy through sound policy and structural reforms that will propel our country forward. Mr. Speaker, there comes a time in a nation's history when fundamental challenges must be confronted, difficult choices must be made, and a new course must be set for the future. For Ghana, the defining moment is now. Mr. Speaker, President Dr. Mahama made a commitment to reset Ghana for jobs, accountability, prosperity. Mr. Speaker, as captured in the NDC manifesto, in this regard, the theme of our budget is resetting the economy. For Ghana, we want. Right Honorable Speaker, the forts are being built. Our democracy has been consolidated with yet another peaceful transition of power. That notwithstanding, our youth face an uncertain future with growing unemployment and hopelessness. This suggests that the dividend to democracy, such as economic prosperity and social justice, remains elusive. Mr. Speaker, the choice before us as a country are clear. We can either continue on the path of self-destruction by not confronting the problems, or we can embark on a journey of fundamental reforms and transformation, one that resets our economic model, redefines our priorities, honors our social contracts, and provides opportunity for all. Mr. Speaker, luckily, President Mahama has chosen the path of reform and transformation. He will face the economy. He will restore hope and lead us to build the Ghana we want together. Right Honorable Speaker, this budget was preceded by the National Economic Dialogue on the theme Resetting Ghana, Building the Economy we Want Together, on the 3rd and 4th of March 2025. Through this consensus-building dialogue, the people demanded a decisive action, real solution to the severe challenges that plague us as a country. Mr. Speaker, the 2025 budget is a combination of the true aspirations, felt needs, genuine desires of the people of Ghana, expressed through the engagement with diverse stakeholders. As part of our broad consultation also, ahead of the budget, we recently engaged traders at major trading centers, including the Mokola market, to listen to their concerns, gauge their expectations, and elicit their input. Mr. Speaker, the extensive consultation revealed that the overriding concern among Ghanaian traders and business community remains price and exchange rate stability. Apart from eroding their working capital, exchange rate volatilities makes effective business planning impossible and increase the cost of doing business. This budget outlines far-reaching measures which will be the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, to effectively and efficiently manage the exchange rate and inflation. Mr. Speaker, we also engage the youth of Ghana in a dialogue on social media as part of our new budget consultation. Mr. Speaker, during my engagement with the youth, it was revealed that 321 pharmacists who were employed since June 2023 have not received their salaries. We will take urgent steps to remedy this situation. Right Honorable Speaker, this conversation was an eye-opening experience, one that strengthened my belief that the voices of the youth matter in designing policies that directly and indirectly impact their lives in the future. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2016, I came to this chamber on behalf of the then Minister of Finance, the Honorable Seth Emmanuel Tepe, and 2016. to deploy a robust public financial management. The Financial Management Act remains one of the best in the world. Its systems weak, allowing for abuse and costly infraction. So, Speaker, President Mohammed's government is committed to the full implementation. We will enforce the sanction regime, medium-term expenditure framework, and seek parliamentary approval for all multi-year commitments as required by law. Mr. Speaker, we will comply with the public procurement process and link them to approved budgets. We will also respect the limits of the appropriations as approved by Parliament. We will rationalize the management and compensation of employees, including conducting headcounts across the country. Mr. Speaker, I now turn my attention or my focus to the state of the Ghanaian economy as at 31st December 2025. Right, Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I now focus my attention on the state of the Ghanaian economy as at 31st December 2024. Mr. Speaker, months of that, we inherited an economy in deep crisis. Mr. Speaker, an economy hard hit with debt and beset by other fiscal challenges, such as large accumulation of MPRS, energy sector, shortfalls, and financial sector payments. Mr. Speaker, recommitment control and reckless public spending have reversed the progress made in fiscal consolidation, even under the IMF program that commenced in the year 2023. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding the gains made under the IMF supported program that was to achieve through the painful sacrifice of domestic bondholders, external creditors, and taxpayers, the economy remains in stress. Right, Honourable Speaker, key performance indicators to be assessed by the IMF staff in the upcoming fourth review of the program. The primary balance commitment basis. Others, as at end 2024, are likely missed. Right, Honourable Speaker, in addition, all structural benchmarks due by end December 2024 are also missed. Mr. Speaker, inflation worsened in the year 2024 from 23.2% in the year 2023 to 23.8% in 2024. Mr. Speaker, the 2024 end period inflation also exceeded the budget target of 15% by 8.8% points and the IMF central target of 18% by 5.8 percentage points. Unfortunately, this has triggered a discussion with IMF under the monetary policy consultation process. Right, Honourable Speaker, the primary balance on commitment basis worsened from a deficit of 0.2% of GDP in the year 2023 to a deficit of 3.9% in the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, the primary balance of commitment basis target for 2024 was a surplus of 0.5% of GDP. Sadly, the previous government recorded a deficit of 3.9% percentage point of GDP. This presents a slippage of a whopping 4.4 percentage points. Right, Honourable Speaker. At the end of December 2024, total central government arrests amounted to 67.5 billion Ghana cedis, represented 5.2% of GDP. An arrest of 21 billion Ghana cedis. The Speaker, when I assumed office on the 23rd of January 2025, my office was inundated with requests for payment for many contractors and suppliers. To ascertain the total arrest and outstanding payments for all MDs, the Minister of Finance decided to formally request all MDs on the 28th of January 2028 submit information on all arrests and outstanding claims for validation. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance held a special hearing with the MDs to validate the arrests that were submitted for payment. The response of the MDs with the validation revealed that the staggering amount of 67.5 billion Ghana cedis is owed to government contractors and suppliers. Mr. Speaker, this consists of MDA's outstanding interim payment of invoices worth 49.2 billion and bank transfer advice at the Controller Accountant General worth 18.3 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this 67 billion excludes $1.73 billion owed to independent power producers. This 67 billion also excludes 68 billion Ghana cedis owned by this 67 billion also excludes the 32 billion owned by the Ghana Coal Board to contractors. Mr. Speaker, this 67 billion owned the Bank of Ghana is also seeking an amount of 53 billion Ghana cedis as bailout to be able to address their negative equity challenge that they face. Speaker, as part of the measures to address these mounting accumulated arrests, we have commissioned an audit of these arrest payments and guarantee value for money before a penny will be paid. Speaker, before a penny will be paid. Right, Honorable Speaker, in addition to the 67.5 billion cedis in arrest, the validation process also revealed that MPs have awarded contract to the tune of a minimum 194 billion Ghana cedis. Speaker, this amount represents 16.5% of GDP as at the end of 2020, accounting for 100 billion Ghana cedis. Speaker, most of these contractors and most of these contracts were awarded without commencement certificates and authorization. Speaker, this is in blatant violation of the Public Financial Management Act 921. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me now update you on our debt service obligations. Speaker, apart from the huge arrest and commitment, our fiscal situation is further complicated by bullet debt service and constrained financing options. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the government option to finance the budget is limited to only treasury bill markets following the debt restructuring program. Moreover, the forthcoming debt service of both domestic and Eurobond debt obligation will have profound implications for fiscal sustainability and balance of payments. Right, Honorable Speaker, domestic debt service alone, programmed for the next 4 years, is 115.3 billion Ghana cedis. The Speaker, simple put, the interest and principal payment that will be due for payment beginning now for the next 4 years is 150.3 billion Ghana cedis. This represents 11.6% of GDP in domestic debt service obligation alone. US Ghana cedis. 73.3% of this 150 billion Ghana cedis is due for payment in the year 2027 and 2028. Right, Honorable Speaker, 2027 alone, the domestic debt service that will be falling due will be 57.6 billion, and 2028 will be laid on to pay 52.5 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the debt service obligation of 2027 and 2028 are major harms. These harms are conscious and pose significant risks to the economy of Ghana. But Mr. Speaker, actually, we shall fix it. Mr. Speaker, our debt service obligation of this financial year is equally burdensome with significant harms. February, we were called upon to pay 9.9 billion. July, we will be paying 6.2 billion. And August, we will be paying 10.1 billion. All this. Right, Honorable Speaker, The fiscal challenges are further compounded by the significant short-term treasury bill that we also include. So, Speaker, these obligations, totaling about 111.1 billion Ghana cedis, requires rollover week in, week out, placing additional pressure on cash flows and the ability to finance. So, Speaker, beyond the domestic maturities, Ghana faces significant external debt service obligations for the next 4 years. The next 4 years will be made to call upon to pay $8.7 billion US, representing 10.9% of GDP, with heavy concentration again in the year 2027-2028. Again, Mr. Speaker, 55% of this external debt service will be due in the year 2027 and 2028. Right, Honorable Speaker, in the year 2027, we need to pay $2.5 billion US. In 2028, we have to again pay $2.4 billion US. Right, Honorable Speaker, it seems that debt restructuring undertaken by the previous administration was designed to make 2027 and 2028 debt repayment heavy. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, I don't know how come we start and allow that design to happen. Mr. Speaker, that is cancerous, but I can assure you we will fix it. Mr. Speaker, in spite of all these upcoming domestic external debt service obligations, no workers were built to pushing this unprecedented debt service. Mr. Speaker, after 7 January 2025, the debt service reserve account, the single funding dollar, has a balance of $64,000 US. Speaker, when we were leaving office, we left behind $319 million US in that same account. Speaker, the debt service reserve CD account had an amount of 143 million Ghana cedis. Right, Honorable Speaker, when we were leaving office, the balance was 430 million Ghana cedis. The Speaker, I now move to stored project. The Speaker, due to the bilateral creditor debt restructuring that is ongoing and the taking by the previous administration, a staggering number of 55 projects have been halted. Mr. Speaker, this leaves a massive amount of $3 billion US in undisbursed loans and about $500 million in outstanding interim payments certificates. Some of these projects include the famous Ethiopian Hospital, the Kenyatia Market Phase 2, the Bogatanga, Wako, Bomakulum Road, and the Tema Aflawa Road project. Delayed payments and demobilization from SAT could result in cost overruns of over $1.1 billion US. Right, Honorable Speaker, the IMF supported program imposed an annual disbursement ceiling of $250 million for all bilateral loans that are being restructured. This constraint means that it will take a minimum of 12 years to complete all of this stored program. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, as a result of the debt restructuring, all this stored program, working with the IMF will take a minimum of 12 years if we decide to go business as usual. We'll be engaging the coming days to resolve this challenge. Speaker, I now take you to the famous energy sector fiscal risk. Mr. Speaker, the increase in energy sector financial shortfall is posing significant risk to the Ghanaian economy. In the year 2024, the Ministry of Finance supported the energy sector with payment of about 20.8 billion Ghana cedis. These resources could have been used for job creation and other development programs, like roads, schools, and hospitals, if the sector inefficiencies were resolved. Mr. Speaker, a recent exercise conducted by the Energy Sector Financing Modeling Team under the Energy Sector Recovery Program, energy sector financial shortfall has increased significantly to about 35 billion Ghana cedis for the year 2025. Even after spending in excess of 20 billion cedis in the year 2024. Right, Honorable Speaker. More importantly, the shortfall for the period 2023 to 2026 has been estimated to be about 140 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this amount is 20 times more than the allocation for goods and services for all MPs in the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, in addition, the energy sector shortfalls, which relate to current invoices that are largely unpaid legacy arrests due to the independent power producers. Mr. Speaker, the legacy arrests stood at $1.73 billion as at going to gross mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, the sector faces declining output and financing challenges, characterized by unsustainable debt, rover cocoa contract risk, and facile fiscal expenditures, including cocoa roads, which, Mr. Speaker, is a non-core function of Ghana Cocoa. Right, Honorable Speaker, cocoa production has dropped by nearly 50% over the past 3 years. In the year 2023-2024 crop season, Cocoa Board was unable to supply 330,000 tons of cocoa to meet its contractual obligation. This sharply decline has affected the finances of Ghana Cocoa. This undersupply has been rolled over for subsequent years for the new administration to pay. Mr. Speaker, these 2023-2024 forward sales contracts, not being at lower prices than the current market rates, have resulted in revenue losses of about $840 million for both Ghana Cocoa and the impoverished cocoa farmers. Right, Honorable Speaker, the rollout cocoa contracts has resulted in a loss of $495 million for the year 2025 alone. Mr. Speaker, these are the risks in relation to the market price differentials and as a result, causing the smuggling down the sea of Ghana Cocoa. Mr. Speaker, Cocoa Board outstanding debt amount to 32 billion Ghana cedis, of which 11.92 billion is due to be paid in the year 2025. Outstanding cocoa road contracts reached 21 billion Ghana cedis, approximately $1.3 billion in the year 2024, of which only 4.4 billion has been accounted for in Cocoa Board finances for the year 2025. Mr. Speaker, the financial sector still struggles, even after spending 30.3 billion in the financial sector cleanup exercise by end 2024. This includes 26.9 billion Ghana cedis after spending this amount in the banking sector. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, the financial sector is still the financial sector legacy issues and emerging risk. In addition, Mr. Speaker, an amount of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis is required to fully capitalize the National Investment Bank and the Agricultural Development Bank of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I will also update the HAP for the fiscal performance for the year 2024. Mr. Speaker, the fiscal performance in the year 2024 was characterized by improved revenue collection, but with significant expenditure overruns. In addition, large arrests were accumulated over the period. Mr. Speaker, in summary, the provisional data shows the following. 1. Primary balance on commitment basis. The key fiscal anchor for the IMF program worsened from a deficit of 0.2% of GDP at the end of 2023 to a deficit of 3.9% of GDP at the end of the year 2024. This is 4.4 percentage points worse than the target surplus of 0.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker. On cash basis, Mr. Speaker, the primary balance was a deficit of 1.2% of GDP against the target of 0.6% of GDP, representing 100% deviation. Mr. Speaker, the overall fiscal balance on commitment basis for 2024 was a deficit of 7.9% of GDP, was a deficit of 5.2% of GDP against the target of 5.3% of GDP. Total revenue and grant amounted to 186.6% 186.6 billion Ghana cedis, or 15.9% of GDP, 5.3% above the revised target of 177.2 billion Ghana cedis, or 17.4% of GDP. The performance was mainly driven by higher program oil and gas receipts and higher non-oil tax revenue collection. Total expenditure on commitment basis, including discrepancies, amounted to 279.2 billion, or 23.7% of GDP. This is 27.1% above the budget provisions in the year 2024. The primary balance on commitment basis, including discrepancies, amounted to 232.4 billion, or 19.8% of GDP. This is 35.3% above the target of 171.7 billion, or 16.8% of GDP. Unfortunately, Speaker, all expenditure lines exceeded their respective targets for the period, except for interest payments, goods and services, and other expenditures. Right Honorable Speaker, the discrepancies for the year 2024 being on classified expenditure was 3.8 billion Ghana cedis as compared to 12.9 billion Ghana cedis in the year 2023. The Speaker, at the end of December 2024, Commission data indicate that gross central government and guaranteed debt was 726.7 billion from 610 billion in 2023. This represents 61.8% of GDP in 2024, compared to 68.7% in the year 2023. Mr. Speaker, it is instructive to note that the debt to GDP ratio and the dollar component of our debt that has come down, that has reduced, is as a result of the 37% haircut on principal of Eurobond debt under the debt. That has reduced is as a result of the 37% haircut on principal and interest that were given to Eurobond bondholders. So, Speaker, you may recall that the government commenced the debt restructuring program in the year 2022 to restore debt sustainability and economic stability. As of now, the restructuring process is approximately 93% completed. The remaining 7% relate to debt of $2.7 billion owed to commercial creditors. We are committed to completing the remaining debt restructuring as soon as possible. Mr. Speaker, real sector development in the year 2024. Right Honorable Speaker, Commissioner 2024 GDP statistics published by the Ghana Statistical Service on the 10th of March 2025 shows that overall real GDP growth increased. The Speaker, at the end of Commissioner 2024 GDP statistics published by the Ghana Statistical Service on the 10th of March 2025 showed that overall GDP growth grew by 5.7%. The gross international reserves increased to a stock position of $8.98 billion at the end of 2024, and was enough to cover 4 months of imports. The currency had depreciated by 19.2%, 17.8% against the euro, against the British pound. The Speaker had depreciated by 13.7% against the Speaker. Right, Honourable Speaker, it is what it is. The state of our economy is struggling, but we will fix it. It will require some sacrifices, truthfulness, transparency, and discipline. We will take strong measures to confront the situation head on. The Speaker, the sacrifice must come from all stakeholders, beginning with the government. The Speaker, His Excellency the President, appreciates this and has led the charge by significantly downsizing his government from the elephant 88 to the umbrella system. The Speaker, he has also reduced the number of his government ministries from the elephant 30 to the umbrella 23. The Speaker, as part of the contribution to the resetting agenda, organized labor has followed suit by working with government and employers association to agree on a modest 10% increase in base pay and minimum wage for the year 2025. Right, Honourable Speaker, on behalf of His Excellency the President, I would like to express my profound gratitude to organized labor and employers. Mr. Speaker, ordinary Ghanaians have also sacrificed by enduring the negative impact of severe currency depreciation since 2022. Hyperinflation, high food inflation, principal and interest haircuts, soaring interest rates, among others. Mr. Speaker, it is now time for the people's representatives, the members of Parliament, and the judiciary to also follow suit. I would like to call on all other stakeholders, including the business community, faith-based organizations, academia, and civil society to support this national goal. Mr. Speaker, our immediate task is to reset our nation, to restore good governance, reduce the excruciating suffering of our people, and set our country on a trajectory of economic transformation. Mr. Speaker, our vision is to build a prosperous and a democratic state, anchored on the principles of freedom and justice, providing equal opportunities for all. Mr. Speaker, through this vision, we will work together to build the Ghana Gov't. Right, Honourable Speaker, the resetting agenda will be anchored on the following. 1. Restoring hope in our democracy, renewing trust in public officials, and helping Ghanaians attain their full potential. Offering a trusted hand to the vulnerable, particularly women and youth, and creating a new Ghana for coming generations. And finally, stimulating demand by patronizing made in Ghana goods under the 24-hour. Today I came to this chamber with made in Ghana back. 2016 Act 911. The fiscal policy objectives of this government is to support the economic transformation agenda to ensure the macroeconomic stability of the country in the macroeconomic and fiscal framework. More specifically, the fiscal policy objectives of the government include the following: rationalizing government expenditure and eliminating wasteful expenditures, optimizing domestic revenue mobilization through broadening of the tax base, increase on tax revenue collection, adopting enhanced tax compliance measures, and modernizing the tax administration through digital technology. Mr. Speaker, we will also increase the share of domestic expenditure to spur economic growth and job creation. We will be reducing public debt to sustainable levels and adopting prudent debt management practices to support debt sustainability. Reducing the fiscal deficit progressively in accordance with the amended Fiscal Responsibility Act to promote fiscal and debt sustainability. Mr. Speaker, restoring confidence in Ghana's economy. Right, Honorable Speaker, our approach will be to foster economic growth, accelerate job creation, reduce inflation, and stabilize the system. To achieve this, it is crucial that we establish the macroeconomic stability and ensure debt sustainability. Mr. Speaker, we are confident that by prioritizing these fundamental elements, we can cultivate an environment where individuals can prosper and businesses can thrive in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians through the recent National Economic Dialogue have expressed a clear desire for fiscal deficit and public debt to be reduced through cuts in government spending rather than through money tax measures. We wholeheartedly agree, Mr. Speaker, going forward, we will tailor our expenditure to align with our fiscal realities abroad. Whoever pays off their debts gets rich. Mr. Speaker, we are poised to implement a three-pronged approach to achieve our objective beginning with this budget immediately. First, we need to recalibrate the fiscal adjustments, and we believe that by prioritizing spending-led fiscal adjustments can initiate a positive cycle. Fiscal adjustment can initiate a positive cycle in a way that first, it will help lower inflation and curb depreciation of the city. Secondly, it will lessen government reliance on borrowing, which in turn will reduce the crowding out of the private sector and lower interest rates. Lastly, this approach will ease the strain on monetary policy, allowing the central bank some greater flexibility to reduce monetary policy rates, ultimately resulting in lower bank and lending rates. Mr. Speaker, the second approach will be to deliver shock therapy. Mr. Speaker, we are implementing a form of shock therapy to the economy by making significant spending cuts this year, thereby reducing government financing needs and front-loading fiscal adjustments. This is the down payment for our policy credibility and credit ratings. Right, Honorable Speaker, our third approach will be to restore fiscal responsibility. By moving forward, we will enhance public financial management by empowering ministers to effectively manage their budgets on their own, ensuring strict compliance with the commencement certificate. Mr. Speaker, we pass it and enforce it the Revised Fiscal Responsibility Act. And finally, we will enforce the sanction regime for non-compliance with the Public Financial Management Act. Mr. Speaker, in pursuit of the overarching macroeconomic objectives, the following macroeconomic targets have been set for the year 2020 of at least 4% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, not less, non-oil ready growth of at least 4.3% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, NPL inflation rate of 11.9%. Mr. Speaker, primary balance, Mr. Speaker, to address inflation, government will implement a number of measures to complement the Bank of Ghana and monetary authorities. Mr. Speaker, the measures to stabilize the exchange rate include the following. We will be establishing the Ghana Gold Board to enhance the generation of accumulation of forex to support the stability of the Ghana system. The Bank of Ghana will continue to implement its FX forward option to support the stability of the Ghana system. Through the reduction in public sector spend and the fiscal deficit, we reduce the pressure on the exchange rate. Mr. Speaker, our import substitution drive under the 24-hour economy involving domestic production of key products originally imported will reduce imports and related FX requirements, boding well for FX stability. Right, Honourable Speaker, we are addressing the inflation problems through a number of measures, including the following. First, specific interventions, including the agriculture for economic transformational agenda, is expected to increase food production and reduce food inflation. Government will implement policies that target items with large weight in the CPI basket, such as transportation and utilities. Aggressive fiscal consolidation drive aimed at reducing the fiscal deficit and borrowing will contribute significantly to reducing inflationary pressures. Right, Honourable Speaker, our strategy to improve exchange rate stability will reduce imported inflation and fuel prices. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana will maintain an appropriate monetary policy stance and use its liquidity management interventions to support the disinflation process. Right, Honourable Speaker, to achieve our expenditure-led fiscal consolidation objectives, we will implement the following measures. Speaker, I now take you to our expenditure measures. Mr. Speaker, the following expenditure measures will be implemented in 2025 and the medium term to support fiscal consolidation. First, we will conduct a comprehensive audit to validate the quantum of arrests and commitment as of 31st December 2024. Mr. Speaker, the mandatory use of blanket purchase order to capture multi-year commitments, contracts in line with amend the Public Procurement Act to provide for independent value for money. Mr. Speaker, we will also Procurement Act to make commencement certificates and budgetary provisions a prerequisite for all procurement that will be paid by the central government. Speaker, we will fully integrate Gov't and HIPMIS to ensure that only NPS projects and purchase orders that have approved budget and allotment can obtain procurement approvals. Speaker, we will operationalize the compliance desk at the Ministry of Finance to monitor reports on commitment and arrest accumulation. Mr. Speaker, aside that, we will publish a PFM table of compliance purposes. We will strictly enforce sanctions under the sections 96 to 98 of the Public Financial Management Act for breaches of the PFM Act, specifically those that relate to arrest accumulation and commitment control. Right, Honourable Speaker. In this regard, we have selected expenditure items including the Ghana Cares, the new start, one district, one factory for complete elimination. Speaker, we will reassign the functions of development authorities such as Coastal Development Authority, the Northern Development Authority, the Neighbourhood Development Authority to the district assemblies and do away with the development authorities. Speaker, we will amend the Different Revenue Management Act to allocate all ABA resources for infrastructure use, not for goods and services, but for infrastructure use. Speaker, the National Health Insurance will receive full allocation under the EMR funds cap in the Realignment Act. The will receive full allocation under the earmark fund and capital realignment act. JNPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30, we will reduce the DMPC share of net carried and participating interest from 30% to 15%, and fully restore transfers to DMPC under the earmark fund capital. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will be amending the Mineral Income Investment Fund Act to ensure that 80% of the royalties originally maintained by MIF is transferred to the Consolidated Fund for Infrastructure. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will strengthen social protection through the implementation of new interventions such as the no academic fee policy for all first-year students, under the no fee scholars initiative. Speaker, it also includes the free tertiary education for persons with disability, free primary health care, the Ghana Medical Trust Care, otherwise known as Mahama Care, and free sanitary pads for school use. The Speaker, to address the energy sector challenges, including reducing the quantum of large energy sector shortfalls, the following energy sector recovery program interventions will be implemented this year. First, Mr. Speaker, ECG and NETCO will implement a number of measures, including metering and implementation of private sector participation. Mr. Speaker, we will also implement the liquid fuel to gas swap through an increase in end gas supply from 60 MMSC per day to 100 MMSC to take advantage of cheaper gas prices and others. Speaker, we will complete the IPP capacity renegotiation to generate some savings through negotiated lower fixed capacity charges and variable O&M charges. Mr. Speaker, as agreed with the IMF by the previous administration, we will implement the following ESRP measures to achieve the structural benchmark of the IMF program. Mr. Speaker, PURC will continue to implement the quarterly tariff adjustment to reflect changes in inflation, exchange rates, and generation fees. Mr. Speaker, PURC will also undertake a major tariff adjustment which will be due in the fourth quarter of 2025 to reflect capacity charges, additional liquid fuel usage, and additional increase from the current $7.80 per MMBtu to $8.45 to reflect the increased prices of natural gas as well as the changes in the supply rates. Mr. Speaker, the subsidy on weighted average cost of gas granted to some ceramic companies through the discounted industrial development tariff will be replaced. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the revenue measures. Mr. Speaker, in proposing some revenue measures to achieve the 2025 fiscal target for your consideration, I'll first take you to the IMF requirement. Mr. Speaker, this measures is inconsistent with our commitment under the IMF's reported program to observe a non-oil tax revenue effort of 0.6% point of GDP annually as part of the measures to improve domestic revenue mobilization and achieve our debt sustainability target for the medium term. Right, Honorable Speaker, despite our commitment to increase the non-oil tax revenue by 0.6%, in line Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the 10%. 49.1 billion Ghana cedis had approved the tax refund account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43% of the total accrued amount being used for tax refund purposes. Mr. Speaker, the study also revealed that 16.6 billion Ghana cedis, representing 57% of the total amount accumulated in the tax refund account, was misapplied. Mr. Speaker, which is a total violation of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915, and the Public Financial Management Act. Instructively, Mr. Speaker, there were virtually no tax refund arrests for the period. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, we are reducing the current tax refund ceiling by 2 percentage points from 6% to 4% of total revenue, as defined in Section 69 of the Revenue Administration Act, Act 915. Mr. Speaker, by reducing the ceiling on the tax refund from 6% to 4% in Ghana cedis, by reducing the tax refund account from 6 to 4, it is enough to remove this tax and the savings will be provided to take care of social interventions. Already, we have saved 3.8 billion cedis for 2025 alone from the taxes we have removed today. To address the concerns from well-meaning Ghanaians on how we are going to close the revenue shortfalls as a result of the removal of selected taxes, the answer is that we have stopped the bleeding. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, with this budget, we will amend the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915. This measure will improve the tax revenue net of tax refund by 2%, representing 0.3% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, in line with government policy, the 2025 minimum wage recently negotiated with the National Tripartite Committee will be zero rated. This is consistent with our resolve to protect the poor and the vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, again, without increasing the levy, we will also review the Energy Sector Levies Act to consolidate the energy debt recovery, the energy sector recovery levy, and the sanitation and pollution levies into one levy and use the proceeds to cater for energy sector shortfalls and service the inherited debt service obligation. Mr. Speaker, the reset has just begun. The rest of the energy sector levies, including the road fund levy, energy fund levy, price stabilization recovery levy, public lighting levy, and national electrification levy, will remain to support the achievement of their intended objectives. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghana has not sufficiently capitalized on the benefits of its extractive sector to generate revenue to support development and diversification. We have failed to leverage our natural wealth by capturing its rents and channeling it towards productive infrastructure and human capital. Natural resource rents, which is the difference between the revenue of a commodity and the average cost of producing that commodity, is about 14% of GDP in the case of Ghana. However, Mr. Speaker, revenue from extractive industry is around 1.5% of GDP only. This is because, as a country, we have failed to fully capture the economic rents of our natural resources. Mr. Speaker, whereas global gold prices have seen some significant increase in recent times, Ghana has not been able to take full advantage of the development. Subsequently, Mr. Speaker, we are proposing to increase the growth and sustainability levy from 1% on gross production of mining companies to 3% to enable the nation to have its fair share. We also propose 2028. We also propose to extend the sunset laws of the special subordinate to 2028. Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians, Honorable House, will recall that road tolls on public roads and improvement of road infrastructure continues to increase, even as substantial arrests and claims in the road sector remains. Right, Honorable Speaker, while the annual average collection from road tolls have not been significant compared to its potential, the existing zero-rated policy for road tolls has increased the situation and dimmed the prospect of raising enough revenue from tolls to road construction and maintenance. Accordingly, government will work with the stakeholders, including the private sector, to roll out a technology-driven solution to reintroduce road tolls this year. Right, Honorable Speaker, we also strengthen the legal and regulatory regime for non-tax revenue and enforce the framework to improve service. This will be achieved through the introduction of an overarching non-tax revenue legislation, amendment of existing relevant laws, and the development of the national non-tax revenue strategy and policy. Mr. Speaker, as part of the reforms to improve other tax revenue streams, government will explore the operationalization of the regulatory framework for collection, management, and reporting of property rates consistent with our medium-term revenue strategy, 2024 to 2027, and the Local Government Act. Mr. Speaker, we believe that the local authorities must be given the opportunity to collect their own property rates. Mr. Speaker, the current compliance rate for SMEs and personal income taxes below tax issues among the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ministry of Finance, and the business community to ensure that issues affecting businesses are addressed promptly. Speaker, I now take you to DHA. Right, Honorable Speaker.